Let's kick off with our top story, and UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson says this is not the right time for Scotland to seek independence, saying that the economy is doing better with Scotland as part of the United Kingdom.
Yeah, the long-standing position is that we don't think this is the right time to be doing constitutional change. We're focused on the priorities, which is tackling cost of living, the pressures that we all face, sorting out our economy, our plan for a stronger economy. And I would just say, repeat, I think our economy is all the stronger for being together.
Earlier this week, Scotland's First Minister Nicola Sturgeon laid out plans to hold a second independence referendum in 2023. The Scottish leader is also pushing the Supreme Court to rule on a bill to secure a second vote. Sturgeon also said that if that second referendum can't be secured, then the Scottish National Party will treat the next elections as a de facto referendum. The last vote was held back in 2014 when 55% of Scots backed remaining in the United Kingdom.
Presiding Officer, the campaign to establish this Parliament.
Now, for more on this, we're joined live on the broadcast by our correspondent in London, Laura Macon-Ishwood. Laura, thanks very much for joining us. How is Nicola Sturgeon hoping to somehow secure this second referendum that she wants so desperately?
Well, she made that announcement in the Scottish Parliament that she wanted this referendum, this vote, to take place on the 19th of October 2023. So more than a year away, but she knows that there's quite a tricky route to try to get to that. When we had the first Scottish independence referendum in 2014, it required the government in Westminster to agree to it. And at the time, the then Prime Minister David Cameron did give Scotland that opportunity to decide its own path. Then, of course, the result was that Scotland voted no to independence, and it was supposed to be a once-in-a-generation event. But now Nicola Sturgeon is really pushing for this second referendum to take place. However, she's up against some quite tricky situations, I suppose you could say. Successive prime ministers after David Cameron, Theresa May and now Boris Johnson, both refusing to grant permission to her and the rest of the Scottish government to set this vote on its way, and also for it to be legally binding. Now, Nicola Sturgeon has decided that she's going to try to go around that nuance in legislation and write to the Supreme Court, offer documents to them in London and let judges decide. So if the judges say that it can legally go ahead, then the 19th of October 2023 will be a second chance for Scottish people to decide. But let's look at the polling. The latest YouGov polls are actually saying that currently Scottish people are still in favour of remaining part of the UK, saying no to independence, in proportions that are very similar to the results that were seen in 2014. 55% of people saying that they would vote no to independence. So even if Nicola Sturgeon can get this referendum on the 19th of October, and it can be said to be legally binding, it's still far from clear whether her dream of an independent Scotland will actually be realised.
Yeah, that's fascinating that the polling numbers haven't really changed in almost a decade.